Hey, Scorpio, Mel, intuitive coach here. Excited to bring in your February 2025 money and career reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, Scorpio. You have here the pendulum and the chess card as well. So there could be some choices or decisions that you make in regards to money matters, or your career. You may even be strategizing at this time, taking a look at new choices that can get you the financial growth and abundance that you are working so hard towards. Look at your first card out here. You have the Hierophant. This is taking steps. You see the steps that are leading towards ascension. So I do feel like you are connecting to your higher power this month. You're really looking at your beliefs that could limit you or hold you back. But you have the Ten of Wands crossing your path as well. This tells me that you are a hard worker. You've been climbing. I see that you have been climbing here, climbing the ladder, whether that's in the corporate world, perhaps that's in your business. So we see that there's an opportunity for you to win money or a payoff for your effort. You have the award card, and this is all about recognition, advancement, professional work, and even fame for some of you, being in the spotlight. So let's take a look and see how this is playing out for you. You have some big major arcanas. 3 out of 4 are showing up for you in the month of February. So this tells me that there is something significant happening here for you. Bottom of the deck, you have the Moon card. Not the tarot moon card, but the moon in this specific deck, which is about being guided. There may be a lot of uncertainties at this time for you, Scorpio, causing you to feel a little bit isolated, causing you to feel a little bit even segregated or left out in the cold. But I feel like you are recommitting to your soul's path, your mission. I feel like this is a spiritual energy that I'm really tuning into for you, Scorpio. Now, Pisces season is showing up. Yeah, look at, you're unlocking a part of your third eye chakra, Ace of Wands. That third eye is highlighted. There is something you are unlocking during Pisces season, which is your fellow water sign there. And Pisces season is at the end of February, the 18th, I believe, or 19th, rolling into mid to end of March. You have some new ideas. I see you really thinking things through, coming up with some new plans. Bottom of the deck, you have Temperance. Temperance is telling me that you've been doing something for quite some time. I mean, you don't get to the 10 of Wands without putting in blood, sweat, and tears. And I feel like you're ready to move in a new direction. There is a new direction coming in here for you. You're recommitting yourself to a path that aligns with your spiritual goals, your spiritual mission and purpose here. So let's dive in. Scorpio, you have the Chess card. This is about strategizing, and you have that word strategy showing up right off the bat in 2 different cards. You see new strategies with the pendulum, fluctuating income. For some of you, you're seeing some highs and lows playing out. And I also see some of you making a choice to change direction in a new job, or completely taking your career in a new path here. This could be seasonal. Some of you were in a contract, like a contractual agreement that was temporary. You may decide to not re-up or renew a contract coming in here for you. I also see that some of you, if you're business owners, you are looking at ways to bring in new income sources here. How can you bring in new clients, or can you add on to an existing skill set in order to branch off a bit? So you're really strategizing this month, and I feel like you're getting clear with what you need to do to move in a new direction, because your two outcome cards are tree and award. Now this is the tree of life. It's the tree that's typically around the 10 of Pentacles. So I do feel like you're thinking long term. You're thinking about your legacy, your retirement, 401ks, and where you are applying your efforts now, how are they going to bear fruit maybe 3, 5, 10 years from now? So this is also about financial growth. There could be something that's come to fruition here for you, as in maybe you had your money in a certificate that finally has hit its expiration date and you're able to access that money. Some of you could even be moving, you could be relocating, you could be retiring, you could be selling a business or buying a business. I feel like there's a completion element to your reading, and you actually have the World showing up here with quite a few tens and the Death card, which are all endings bringing in new beginnings. So whatever new beginnings are coming in for you, it is going to require you, Scorpio, to tie up loose ends, to wrap up some of the old cycles that perhaps felt very heavy or very difficult for you to continue moving forward in. Some of you, this has to do with your health as well. You may not feel like you have the energy or the inertia to stay on your feet, or to run all around everywhere, or to do something maybe physically or mentally even. It just seems like you want to simplify things. You want to slow things down a bit. You don't want to have to be in that hustle mentality every single day. And that is why you are also looking to the tree here. Some of you are going to win money. All right, this could be through a settlement. This could be winning, on a scratch off ticket. This could even be winning, like you put your name into a drawing, or you put your name on a board, like a sports board or whatever it may be. I feel like you could win something here. So you may have a little bit of that lucky Midas touch in the month of February. This is also about advancement. You're looking at ways to ascend. I mean, that's a given with your first card out here, the Hierophant. You see that the stairway is behind him, right? It looks like the stairway to heaven. Doesn't mean anybody's going to heaven, but it does mean that you're looking at ways to feel more fulfillment, more spiritual fulfillment at that. So you are looking at any beliefs that are outdated. You may be looking at patterns that hold you back. And you may also be looking at, institutionalized religion or societies or governing agencies. Some of you, that could be part of your career in some way. Maybe you work for the city of, Los Angeles, or you work for a governing agency or a school district or something of that nature. Okay. I do feel, and I'm sending lots of love towards LA, what's going on out there. There's a reason why that came through. Maybe some of you Scorpios are connected, or you're doing some work. I also feel some humanitarian acts coming through here. So it could even be that you want to start up like a nonprofit, or you want to contribute and help the world in some way with the Hierophant. Now I'm also getting, Scorpio, you could be a spiritual teacher or a spiritual guru in some way, where you are meant to teach others. Okay, you're meant to teach others. You may not even be aware, but I feel like you may want to even leave maybe the corporate world and go off on your own here and build up a spiritual practice of some sort that does align with, your higher self. All right, you have the award card. I'm going to go back to this because this is also about recognition. Some of you, you've been carrying the weight, just like this mule is carrying, so much weight on its back. It feels like you've been doing the work of many because, well, you're skilled, you're good at it, but it doesn't mean that you have to continue doing that. I mean, it's hard to climb up that mountain when you have a load on your back, and I feel like you're coming down the mountain here. Or coming around the mountain, but I feel like you are wanting more simplicity. It's like you want to offload, you want to You want to live a simplistic life. Some of you want to live, in an area where the greens are blooming and you have a garden and maybe you do some canning and maybe you live off the land. I am getting a very homesteading, like environmental energy here for some of you. Even though I don't see one pentacle in your reading, I feel like it's not just about money or finances. And that's interesting because typically, well, we do have a pentacle. We have the 5 pentacles. So it feels like there has been a disconnect from the financial or material world. All right. Maybe you have gone through a bit of a loss, maybe a poverty conscious mindset even. But the good news is there's an unlocking happening. You see, the key is right there. The door is right there. Where you can stick that key in. And sometimes it takes a while. It takes a while to rebuild after a loss, or it takes a while to reprogram a belief. And that's what I'm seeing here for some of you. When we get the Hierophant blended with the 5 of Pentacles, this can be about a belief system that holds you back. All right. Making sure, and some of you, you may be in a physical job, it just feels like it's not aligned with, your spiritual self. And that is what is shifting here. That's what's changing. You're taking maybe small but steady steps towards, enlightenment in some way. All right. Bottom of the deck, you do have the Moon card here. So I feel like you are being guided. And look at, you have the wings, which is my Aquarian energy, and will be in Aquarius season for the majority of February. So something is happening now. You're rising above money issues. There could be money coming to you, whether this is like financial aid, support, settlement, taxes. I feel like there's some sort of financial abundance coming your way. This is about a business taking off, profit, spiritual work, life purpose, and mission. And that's exactly what I'm feeling here in your energy. This is a very spiritual undertoned reading here for you, where, yes, we're going to talk about career and money and finances, but it feels like some of you have been a little bit disconnected, maybe even from your goals. And that's why you are being guided to open up to that belief system, strategize, and maybe do some unlocking. And that's why you have the Ace of Wands highlighting the third eye chakra. Now, if you have any Libran placements in your chart, or if you are a Libran cusper, or, Libra resonates in some way, check out that reading, Scorpio, because I feel like there's a message for you there as well, for those of you that this resonates with, or Libran energy resonates with you, because that was all about unlocking the third eye, and I'm seeing that happening here for you. All right. So we talked about the Hierophant. Some of you are taking a class. You are talking to a coach, a mentor, a healer, a shaman even. You may be getting trained in this area, okay, one of those areas, because some of you are light workers, healers. You're on this spiritual path and this spiritual mission. In fact, a lot of you watching are. And I see that there's been some burdens that you have carried. Some of you, this can be even a Mrs. or Mr. Fix-It personality, where you feel like you have to fix everyone and fix everything. And it feels like that is a soul purpose or a soul mission. Now, what is your soul purpose and soul mission, Scorpio? Is you could be a teacher, you could be a guide or a mentor, but you don't have to take on the burden of feeling like you have to fix them, or they have to be fixed in order for you to feel like you've done your job. And so many people get stuck in that cycle thinking, well, I didn't do it right if they are not healed. And that is the furthest thing from the truth, because everyone has free will. And it's up to them whether they want to, ascend to the next chapter of their life or not, or they want to stay where they're at. It's up to you to fulfill your purpose and your mission by being the light, by being, who you are and fulfilling your purpose. But if that intertwines with someone else and you both can evolve and grow, excellent, but not to take it personally when someone else doesn't evolve, okay? And that's what you may be carrying. That may be a part of a burden. Now, some of you are held back by some responsibilities. Some of these responsibilities may be out of your control at this time. Perhaps you have a family to take care of. Perhaps you have children and you can't just fulfill this mission of yours. But I feel like what you can do is take some steps now. You can take some steps towards that. For others of you, you may be taking care of like an elderly parent, or you have a mortgage, or you have, the responsibilities that we all have as an adult. And I feel like there are certain resources that spirit is asking you to tap into, because there's something that you're trying to go it alone. And maybe that's why the Hierophant is coming in, because he is your higher self. He is your spirit guide. He is the universe. He is higher power. I mean, he is whoever you want him to be. When you tap in to that cosmic energy, then you know that you're not alone, right? Then you know that your life has purpose and meaning. But for some of you, it feels like you've been walking this solo path, and it reminds me of the footprints mirror, of Jesus and the footprints. And he says, Jesus, why did you abandon me? I didn't. I was carrying you. That's why there's only one set of footprints. You're not alone here, Scorpio. And the 10 of Wands says, it's important to ask for help, or you will become physically exhausted. And even if this help is spiritual, angelic, divine, this is about unburdening. Maybe delegating responsibilities. If you feel overwhelmed, what can you do to reduce overwhelm or anxiety? What can you prioritize? What is a burden that you can kind of reorganize your priorities, is what I'm getting here. Because when you get to this point where you've taken on so much, it almost squashes your spiritual mission in some way. It feels like you are finding balance, or needing to find balance, and that may require you to let go of something. All right, let go of something, walk away from something in order to reach this level of ascension. All right, what's below you? The Death card. Some of you have gone through already many spiritual awakenings. For some of you, this was a life, like a near-death experience. Some of you are survivors. Maybe you are breast cancer survivors, or you've lost a loved one physically, and you're coming back from that. But boy, oh boy, has it taken a while. Some of you may have lost a job or a home, or maybe there was bankruptcy, or whatever this is. The Death card brings in massive transformation, and this is in your deep past. So perhaps you had gone through some sort of conditioning in the past that really did a number on you, Scorpio, really did a number. And that is why you are really embracing the Hierophant here now, because you may be saying, wait a second, are my fears real? Are they real? Is this fact? Is this based on something I've gone through in the past? Is this what's holding me back from wrapping up a cycle and moving towards a new beginning? You should be proud of yourself. Everybody, everybody goes through this death and rebirth. That is inevitable. But what I see you doing here, Scorpio, is rising from the ashes. Death is your energy, all right? Death is Scorpio's energy of transformation. Phoenix rising from the ashes. It is about resistance as well. So try not to resist the changes that are afoot. Try not to resist some of the endings that are inevitable in order for you to grow, in order for you to expand your consciousness. Now, in the recent past, we have the Magician. Now, I love the Magician's energy. However, it's showing up a little bit in the reverse here for you in the recent past. So sometimes this can be dealing with manipulation. It can also be manifesting from a place of fear. Now, when we manifest from a place of fear, it's not sustainable, right? Yes, we manifest each and every single day, but when we're manifesting from a place of greed or ego or envy or jealousy or, cutthroat manipulation, whatever it is, it's not going to be sustainable. In fact, karma, right? What goes around comes around. Something could get pulled out from underneath that energy, but I feel like the magician is reminding you, Scorpio, that you have all of the tools and all of your skills and talents and abilities to manifest the life that you want. And perhaps some of you feel like it's been taking a long time and you're not quite sure how to bring something to life. You are so close to the edge. 2025 for you is the year where you do embrace and embark upon this new journey. Now you have the 9 of Wands showing up here above you. 9 is the year we are in. 2025 is a 9 year. 9s are about completions, accomplishments, service, and solitude. Now, the 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior. Like I said, you've gone through some stuff. You have gone through perseverance and, overcoming obstacles, strength, boundaries. You have a renewed sense of determination coming in here. And that is what is going to guide you towards, wrapping up some of these delays or sabotaging behaviors or limitations, because the 9 of Wands is about you reigniting that bravery and saying, I have what it takes to accomplish what I set out to accomplish. You will overcome these external hurdles. You will have this renewed sense of determination and bravery. I mean, you're a warrior, Scorpio. You come here with some big purpose, big mission. And I feel one of those lessons for you was about boundaries, personal boundaries, professional boundaries, you name it. I feel like you've gone through it all here. But the 9 of Wands is also about, you knowing where you start and where something else ends in a way, because you may be taking your work home with you. You may be letting your personal life affect your professional life or vice versa. I feel like you are learning how to compartmentalize in a way, but keep that spiritual piece touching everything. I hope that makes sense. All right, near future, you have the 5 of Pents. It did show up in reverse, which I'd rather see it in reverse, because it means that she's grabbing that key and she's lifting her head up. She sees the key, she sees the lock, and she's going to unlock something. She's coming out of the cold. And I feel for some of you, the 5 of Pentacles is being humbled in some way. This is about you maybe releasing or letting go of the ego or the fears that cause the ego to get all twisted up. It can be poverty conscious mindset or a scarcity mindset of not having enough. It can be financial and material changes that you're going through at this time. But I feel like there's a newfound sense of trust. There's a newfound sense of enlightenment here with the Ace of Wands in your energy. Some of you felt the struggle to really tap into your creative potential, or you felt maybe even a lack of or a loss of motivation, momentum, and spiritual energies. And I do feel here that there's a new beginning. And again, Pisces, your fellow water sign, I feel Pisces season, the end of February, is going to reactivate some of those missing pieces or pieces that you kind of disconnected from. I feel will be reactivated. It's like a new switch is turned on here within the mind. And the Ace of Wands is potential, ideas, passion, creativity. This is a new sense of purpose. And that is exactly what is showing up with these major arcanas. Some of you are realizing, yes, I do have what it takes. And I do have this new sense of, determination to really fulfill my mission and purpose here on earth. So again, it goes hand in hand with your outer world, which includes your finances, your money, your material world, your health. But I also see this being very, very spiritual for you, Scorpio. So a lot of you, if you are light workers or if you work for an organization of some sort, I feel like you have ideas of your own. You may even want to branch off and go out on your own in some way. Now, what's showing up in your environment, you have the Page of Wands. So there's the activation. It's showing up in reverse here, which means it's going to take a little bit of time to really open yourself up, because you may feel a little bit restless. You may feel like nothing is happening. But the Page of Wands is someone who is getting focused. He needs to get focused here, and that's what I see you doing, is getting focused on what you truly want, getting prioritized here. Some of you would benefit from creating a vision board. If you already have a vision board, look at the very center of that vision board, because they're showing me the center of, the third eye. Then I see the centered energy of the circle within her, again, crown and third eye region. So the very middle of your vision board, take a look and see what is showing up in the very middle. All right, the middle quadrant here, that is significant. That may be what you are unlocking. And for others of you, perhaps it is time to get focused. Sit down with a pen and paper, or a financial planner, or, a professional of some sort. Maybe it's a coach or a healer, but I feel like it's time for you to really open up to your potential. Page of Wands, be curious. Go back to school, learn a new skill. There may even be a message or communication coming in about a career, a project, or a course of study that reactivates that imagination within you. I also want you to imagine what your future could be here. What is it that you want to see manifesting in your world? And some of you have had a difficult time seeing beyond right here, right? Seeing beyond maybe the superficial. And I do see you taking it a step further in the month of February. Now, Scorpio, the world is showing up as your hope and your fear. So the world is graduation. You're really hoping that you can graduate from this journey that you've been on and either retire or have financial freedom, maybe even connect on a global or international level in some way. This is about the world being your oyster. And there's a circular energy here as well. So I keep getting like in the middle. You may feel at times like you're caught in the middle of something. But I do feel with this being a hope, you're going to turn this hope into reality. That's why you have the Magician. Whatever has delayed or prolonged your success, that is what's coming to an end. Because you have the 10 of Swords showing up as your outcome. This could be you walking away from a job. For some of you, it's retiring. For others of you, it is saying, all right, goodbye. I'm relocating. I'm picking up shop. I'm moving. I'm taking my business elsewhere, or I'm being relocated in some way. The 10 of Swords, typically, it shows a man on the ground on his stomach, and he has 10 10 swords in his back. It's not a fun, pleasant energy to be in. However, this 10 of Swords, she has her back turned towards the sun, towards where she came from. And it almost feels like a graceful ending here. Something, even though it may have been difficult for you, it feels like you're walking out of it and saying, wow, I made it. I can appreciate everything that I've gone through. I can appreciate the challenges, the highs, the lows, but now I'm ready to embrace a new journey of my life. And that's what I see you doing here. Pay attention to the birds, the crows, which I just mentioned this because I just did Libra's reading as well. And the birds were so very loud outside the window here. So some of you could be seeing like a flock of crows or a flock of birds in some way. That is your reminder to move forward on a new path, on a new direction. The 10 of Swords is about, the worst is over. The worst is over of a situation. And now a new day has dawned, basically. A new day has dawned. When I see the 10 of Wands crossing you, you're letting this go. And you are committing to a more spiritual mission and path when it comes to your career, your finances. It feels like you're surrendering as well and saying, all right, this is what I'm meant to be doing. Guide me. Guide me blindly even at times, because you have the Moon, which does say you are being guided. And I don't feel like you're blind though, but I do feel like you are trusting in your intuitive wisdom here with the Ace of Wands. There's a new beginning stirring up here for you, and I feel like this is quite exciting. So Scorpio, let's take a look here. Let's get a message from the wisdom of the Oracle. What do we have for Scorpio, please? Wisdom of the Oracle for Scorpio. I'm getting imagine. So keep that third eye open. Imagine. You have no place like home. All right. You have no place like home. I feel like this does have to do with the Hierophant here, finding that place within oneself. It's card 50. Some of you could be 50 years old, Scorpio. 50 could be a significant number. But this is about authenticity, coming home to yourself, feeling at home, and arriving at a place where you just fit in. It's also about being comfortable in your own skin. The message is this: when you act in an authentic way, you command the world to reflect back to you exactly what it is in your highest good. Your business choices, the investments you make, and the creative projects you immerse yourself in are powerfully on point. Why? Because when you are fully yourself, radically accepting everything in your journey to date, both successes and failures, you will see the divinity in all things. I love that line for you. We just talked about that as well. Abundance is a natural progression when you experience this kind of authenticity. This is beautiful. Now, because I do see some endings here, I'm going to read the protection message, so take it as it resonates. It says, there are times when what is familiar and known is not the best choice. Human beings are memory-driven creatures, and we all look for certainty for what we know, even if the qualities we seek in other people and in external conditions, excuse me, are expressed in an unhealthy way. Avoid being too eager to find home. Choose something unfamiliar and trust that there you will find a new normal that supports your spirit. I kind of feel that way for a lot of you with the 10s showing up. Is, connecting to your higher self here, connecting to your mission, and not being too eager to fall back into the old patterns or the old conditionings of what does feel like home for you. That home is truly where your heart and your soul exist, and where you can find them is always within your own self. So home can be anywhere externally. Remember, if you do what you did, you'll get what you got. Do the opposite of what feels right, even if it's uncomfortable, because what feels right is really what feels familiar, and you will attract and be drawn to the very things you don't want anymore. This time will not be different unless you do something different. Bingo. That's why we have so many of these, endings here showing up in your reading, because I feel like you are guided to move in a new path, a new direction, because that right there is you being authentic with your soul's path, with your mission. And remember what I keep saying with the 5 of Pentacles. You are coming in from the cold. There's a humbling experience or situation here. But in order for you to come in from the cold, I feel like you had to get a little bit uncomfortable first. And I see that you've certainly been uncomfortable here, but I do see you unlocking a new path, a new beginning with that Ace of Wands. This is beautiful. All right, Scorpio, let's get a message from your spirit animals. And at this time, if you can safely do so, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, your belly area. Nice big inhale. Hold it as long as you can. And release through the mouth with a nice deep sigh. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal that shows up in your mind's eye. Now this could be an animal that flies high in the sky, maybe swims deep in the sea. Your animal could be wild, magical, mystical, or even domesticated. This could be a pet that you currently have at your home, maybe by your side, or one that's crossed over the rainbow bridge. This could be an animal that's crossed your path recently in the great outdoors, or maybe visited through your dreams or your meditations. There is no right or wrong answer, Scorpio. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your animal or animals, whether you have 1 or 5, drop them below. I will enter you into the free reading giveaway where I draw one winner around the 1st of the month and post right back here on the channel. So please make sure you've hit that subscribe and bell button so you don't miss those notifications. All right. Some of you could be 45 years old, born on the 10th, the 14th, or the 20th. We have chameleon spirit, act as if. This is about adaptability as well. Chameleons change color depending on their environment and their circumstances. You too will and should remain adaptable and flexible because there are some changes coming into your environment. I also see you acting as if some of these changes, right? Use that imagination, tap into the magician and that third eye and really see yourself actively feeling and living the life that you want for yourself. All right, we have parrot. Watch your words. Words create a magical spell. That's why it's called spelling. So be mindful of the words that you tell yourself, the words that you put out into the universe. Try to avoid words of, I'm stuck, or I don't have enough, I'm poor, I'm broke, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough. Really be mindful of the words that you are telling yourself, because remember, the mind doesn't know the difference between the subconscious, that what you're telling yourself, and it's important for you to keep that abundant mindset. So definitely watch your words here. It's also 45, which is a 9. So I am getting that 9 energy again for you. 2025 is the year for you to really move forward in a new beginning, a new spiritual path. Why? Because the abundant universe will provide. There's a 1 for you. There's that ace. So the buffalo is about that abundant mindset as well. 10 is the wheel of fortune in tarot. So there is a fortune, there is a turning of the wheel. I feel like you are moving towards, a new phase of your life that is very abundant, that can help you rebuild after some sort of loss. And then you have card 20, dolphin. Dolphin spirit says this and that are true. Whatever you tell yourself, whatever your beliefs are, that is what you hold true for you. And that is going to be the lens in which you view the world. So be sure that what is your truth is based on your values, your integrity, your morals, and it's not based on a lie, a false assumption, or, something that no longer resonates with you. It's card 20, which is the Judgment, which is also Scorpio's major arcana. So there is a rebirth here. There is a second chance for you to move through fear, let things go, and move towards releasing any sort of judgments and have fun. This dolphins represent playfulness and fun. Their energy is just magical. And I see here that 2025 for you is about, introducing more of that simplistic, playful, fun energy into your life. So I'm liking this for you. Let's take a look at one final message from your soul's truth. What do we have here for Scorpio? Are you clear on what your soul really wants? Now, we talked about the vision board and getting organized and prioritizing, time management, as well as releasing some of those burdens. Schedule some time into your schedule for fun, just to not have to produce anything, create anything. What can you do to just be? Take out the shoulds and the limitations. Get out of your head and pay attention to your heart's desires instead. If you knew it was impossible to fail, what would you do? Wherever you go, Scorpio, go with all your heart. Today's soul action, ask yourself, what is it that your soul really wants? What does your heart crave? Then take one step in that direction. You know, it's so funny that the shoulds, take out the shoulds and limitations. And I think it was Libra's reading and possibly maybe Cancer as well. The shoulds kept coming up. And there's a joke where if you keep saying, I should do this, I should do that, the joke is stop shoulding on yourself, Scorpio. You know, stop saying I should, because it's about focus. It's about getting clear, and no more shoulds. It's time for you to, you know, move forward, move past those limitations. And I see you taking a step in that direction, quite literally. You have the Hierophant. Some of you could even be reading like the wisdom of the Tao, or maybe you're looking at quotes by Lao Tzu, because I am hearing the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So you may be practicing some yogi principles as well. If you've never heard of the wisdom of the Tao, Wayne Dyer has a really wonderful book that he wrote that kind of breaks it down into a simplified version of each of the steps. But it's very important that you connect with your higher self. So Scorpio, that is what I have for you. That is going to affect all areas of your life, specifically career and money, because this is a career and money reading. So be open to looking in a new path, a new direction. There's a new opportunity. And I see a lot of you walking away from something or exiting an old life, an old contract, or old, you know, paradigm, and entering into a new world. And it feels like it's a bit shaky, right? It feels at times like there's some uncertainty with the Moon card, but trust that you have the wings. Trust that you're rising above money issues here, that something is going to take off here for you, that you will profit. Because if you listen to that inner guidance, you have this spiritual work, life purpose, and mission that you will fulfill. You are currently fulfilling, but it's important that you trust in the unknown here. That is what I have for you, Scorpio. If this resonates, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and of course, drop your power animals in the comment section below. Thank you so much for being here and tuning in. Lots of love.